All right, think I'm live? We'll wait for the thing to tell me though, okay? Just hold on a second. Okay, I think we're live. So today is New Comic Book Weekly every Monday around 4 p.m. I like to show you guys what I'm pulling for this week's New Comic Book Day. We're also going to be reviewing some comic books that came out last week. I also have on the schedule some Image comic solicitations for March 2026. So if you guys are looking forward to anything coming out from Image Comics next year, sure to stay tuned. We also, I guess I'm supposed to grab an action figure. So hold on. We'll pick an action figure we're going to unbox today. So I chose the classic Wonder Woman, but there's a problem with these page puncher boxes. I'm not sure how I'm going to get this thing open, but we're going to figure it out because it is New Comic Book Weekly, man, every Monday around 4 p.m. Like I was saying, dude. So hold on, just popping out the chat here. I don't want to make sure I don't miss any comments here. Okay, so got the chat going. Stream looks healthy. So that's the plan for today. I'll show you guys what I'm pulling for New Comic Book Day. This week is December 31st. It's the day, obviously, before New Year's. Kind of a weird day to have a new comic book day. But yeah, let's get into it. So I have the pull list up here on the other monitor. How's that looking? That looks pretty good. XXYYEE. What's up in the chat? Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, that works. So yeah, you guys can see my pull list. So week of December 31st, we have four pulls. Four pulls only for a total of $18.96. So pretty light new comic book day for me. No DC, which is very odd. So we'll go exploring. We'll see what's going on with DC. What else they have coming out this day? I feel like I'm missing something. Very light. It's also the fifth Wednesday, so that happens from time to time every fifth Wednesday. But yeah, so let's get into it. So the first thing I'm gonna start with Ultimate Endgame. Endgame has arrived, the moment that has been building since the beginning of the new Ultimate Universe. Spinning out of Dennis Camp and Juan Frigeri's Ultimates comes the culmination of Ultimate Invasion. So we know that the Maker has been trapped inside the city, and this whole entire Ultimate Universe, we've been awaiting his return. We know that he's been trying to break out and all that stuff, right? So we know the Maker's coming back, and this is the series that allegedly is going to end the Ultimate Universe once and for all. We know all the Ultimate titles are coming to an end, right? So yeah, Ultimate Endgame. Allegedly, it's going to be all spelled out here in this series from Dennis Camp. Looks like we have Jonas Scharf and Terry Dodson. We have the Dodsons attached. That's pretty interesting. Edgar Delgado, Federico Blee, and yeah, so a variety of different artists on this attached. That's pretty interesting. So we'll see what's going on with this. But the Endgame universe is ending, man. Pretty interesting to see. The Ultimates number 19. This is a series written by Dennis Camp with art from Juan Frigeri. I just mentioned it. This has been my favorite Ultimates title. I'm being honest. Like Ultimate Spider-Man, as good as it's been, but it's as bad as it's been too, right? Ultimate Spider-Man, in my opinion, has been a series that has a lot of ups and downs, whereas the Ultimates title has been really consistent all the way throughout. If I didn't drop Ultimate X-Men, that might be my favorite actually, but um, I'm not caught up on that series. I try to catch up as much as I can on the app. There's still 3 issues behind, right? So, but the Ultimates I've been loving all the way throughout. So in this one, it says Stung by the Wasp. It's the ultimate betrayal. Wasp has been a double agent. Oh, let me know if in the chat if my sound's all set too. If you guys are hearing me all right. If I need to be turned up or whatever, let me know. It's the ultimate betrayal. Wasp has been a double agent for the Maker's Council in the name of protecting her family, but now with the Maker emerging, her treachery must be answered for. So it's all coming to a head in this Ultimates issue number 19, coming out, of course, on December 31st. Pretty big day for the Ultimate Universe. And then let's get into the Image comics, the indie comics for the week. We've only got two. Escape issue number 5. This has been a great series from writer Rick Remender and artist Daniel Acuna. If you caught my video I posted earlier today, the day of I'm recording this, I did a top 10 list with me and Kai Bucks, our favorite issue number ones of the year. We both spoke very highly of Escape. If you've been watching my comic book reviews all year, pretty much, I've been high on Escape as well. We've been talking about it on our top 10 list of the month with Kai Bucks as well with this Escape series. So we've been loving it here on the channel for sure. So make sure you guys are checking out Escape. Once this trade is out, it's for real going to be like one of the best trades of all time. So really excited about that. But Escape issue number 5, we know that the last issue was a little bit of a breather. We got this Milton guy. He's behind enemy lines still, but he's kind of holding out with, um, you know, some people he previously thought of as the enemy. But how evil are they really? I mean, they're just civilians just trying to live their lives through the war. And Milton is getting that behind the scenes kind of look, and it looks like um, he's ready for the fight again. It seems so. He's got to complete his mission. I mean, that's what it's all about. So, Escape issue number 5. Rick Remender, Daniel Cunha, just killing this series. One of my favorites of the year for sure. Let's talk Lucky Devils issue number 6. This series has been kind of weird for me. It's been a little up and down. It's the follow up to 8 Billion Genies. You guys see right over my shoulder. Got an 8 Billion Genie right there. So I'm a big fan of Charles Soule and Ryan Brown's stuff. I guess for me, with this Lucky Devils series, um, just haven't been the biggest fan of it of all time. I think I'm like maybe an issue or two behind. All the stops and delays with the series as well has kind of made it a harder month to month kind of read. We got Derek Seaborn in the chat. Derek Seaborn D2J saying, "What's up? Hey, dude. Thanks for stopping in." But yeah, so Lucky Devils for me, not my favorite series of all time. We're kind of just sticking it out because it's the Ryan Brown and Charles Soule series. Maybe try to catch up with the series when it's all out, try to binge read it because I think it's probably a series that is better read in a binge as opposed to month to month. Makes it a little tough. But yeah, so that's what we have for the most part for New Comic Book Day, December 31st. It's not a new comic book day like I was saying. We only have 4 pickups. Let's do some exploring though, just a little bit, to try to see what else is coming out for this week that I could potentially add to my pull list. So as we're seeing some stuff from Image Comics, a lot of series that I'm just like trade waiting or like collecting in deluxe editions like Radiant Black. Feral, I've heard really good things about. I know people that really like Lost Fantasy as well. But that's pretty much it for Image Comics. Not a big week for Image Comics at all. Derek Seaborn, Kaya from Image Comics is good. Is that out? That's a series I'm collecting in trade. Yeah, it doesn't look like Kaya has a release coming out this new comic book day, but definitely been loving Wes Craig's stuff in Kaya. XX Yee in the chat says Marvel Zombies. Let's check out what's going out from Marvel. So besides the Ultimates that we mentioned earlier, we got some Predator stuff, some Punisher stuff. That's a big release for the Sorcerer Supreme. As we know, Scarlet Witch is kind of stepping into that role. We got Marvel Zombies, um, as mentioned in the chat. Undead Iron Fist. Yeah, not like the biggest week. Yeah, if you are into Marvel Zombies, if you're into Predator kills the Marvel Universe and stuff like that, you're eating pretty good with these releases, I think. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Derek Seaborn says he's a big fan of Radiant Black. I've been liking it. It's just a series that I'm starting to collect in deluxe editions, those nice hardcovers. Try not to double dip by getting the trades and then you get the hardcover and then what do you do with the trades kind of thing. Yeah, so pretty light from Marvel. What is coming out? Does DC have anything coming out? Okay, nothing. They got nothing coming out besides an Omni. That's pretty interesting, man. I guess it's just a really light new comic book day. What else is here? I gotta hang up on my wife. Oops. All right, why is she out of work already? Huh, interesting. Anyways, back to the nothing really from Boom. Yeah, I think it's just a light new comic book day just across the board. There's nothing really um of note beyond that. What is Dark? No, Dark Horse got nothing either. Okay, cool. So that's kind of it for new comic book day. I hope you guys are having a good one. Of course, it's the day before New Year's, dude. Hope you guys are having a happy New Year's. Let me know what you guys are picking up for New Comic Book Day, December 30th, down in the chat. It's a light one, but we're gonna make the best of it. So yeah, that's what I'm picking up. New Comic Book Day, December 31st. Let's get into some comic book reviews. Like I was telling you guys, we got a bunch of X like I was saying, comic book reviews. We got a bunch of them. I think there are 7 things here, and it's a heavy DC comic week, as you guys are seeing. So 6 things from DC Comics that we'll get into, and then 1 thing from Image with Skinbreaker. XXYYE in the chat says, I gotta hang up on my wife. Sometimes you gotta hang up on your wife, you know? She's calling me. She doesn't know I'm live. I I try to like time these streams like while she's working, so I don't know why she's out of work early. She's not supposed to be out of work for another couple minutes. Anyways, let's talk about Absolute Wonder Woman. Guys, Absolute Wonder Woman 15. So sick. This is the Absolute team up, the first one in the Absolute universe. What I really liked about this issue, of course, you got the Hayden Sherman artwork, right? It's got the Jordi Belair writing. I really enjoy, or sorry, the Jordi Belair coloring and the Kelly Thompson writing. Just this team up, man, of this Absolute Wonder Woman and this Absolute Batman. You'd think that they would kind of brush up against each other a little more, like maybe this Absolute Batman would be more combative, but I kind of read it as this Absolute Batman is so like interested, and he's heard about this Absolute Wonder Woman obviously from the news and stuff like that. Absolute Batman does his research, right? So he is not like a I don't know. He's not like worried about this absolute. Like he can kind of trust her, right? Just from the little that he does know about her, and then he's just so interested from a magic perspective. He's always asking like define magic, right? So he's just like more intrigued than anything. He doesn't see this absolute Wonder Woman character as a threat, which I quite enjoyed. And then yeah, you get this great team up as Diana is trying to investigate some of these murders. The murders are in Gotham City. She doesn't want to step on Batman's toes, right? She knows that it's kind of his turf, so she lights the bat signal to get his attention, and they kind of start their adventure. And this is going to be a first part of the team up, so you're going to have to read Absolute Batman. Probably says it in the back. Pretty good stuff, like action packed, as we see someone trying to possess Diana to try to kill Absolute Batman. So kind of a trap was trying to be set. We know that the next team up, they will meet again in Absolute Batman number 16. So that's just excellent stuff, man. I'm loving this Absolute Batman series. What a fun time reading this. Sorry, the Absolute Wonder Woman series, but the fact that they're linking up, I mean, that's just so sick, dude. That's what I wanted from the Absolute Universe. Just more and more of this like interweaving. Because for the longest time, it seems like the Absolute Universe's titles are just kind of going on their own, but I want to see them start like intermixing and kind of showing that there is like this larger world and they all kind of connect. So that's what I'm looking forward to coming up very shortly, dude. XXE in the chat says, I love Absolute Wonder Woman. I think it's my favorite ongoing right now. I really think it is, especially from DC. Like I think it's my easy pick for favorite DC ongoing. I'm just really loving this Absolute Wonder Woman title. I have the some original art from issue number 1. No biggie. I like to drop that every now and then. It's pretty cool. Some Hayden Sherman original. But yeah, so let's get into. There's 3 Absolute titles this week, so let's get into the next one with Absolute Martian Manhunter, issue number 7, the series that's back from its little mini hiatus. We know that Dennis Camp and Javier Rodriguez, they're hot off the series. They're like, hey, can we get some time to chillax, and get ready for the next one. So this one was really good as we see this John Jones character. He's still a little separated from his wife. Things are not all hunky dory. There's still kind of this strain in their relationships that we know from the first arc. So we see this John Jones character. He's hanging out at the motel, chain smoking cigs. It's such a look though, dude. Like, listen, smoking's terrible, kid. Smoking's awful. You don't want to be smoking. It's no good. But damn, if this John Jones character doesn't make it look cool, man. I'm telling you, he looks good, dude, while he's doing it. I also realized I should have hit start recording. That's awful, dude. I've been talking for 15 minutes and I lost all the footage. Well, no, I guess I didn't lose it. I can just download the YouTube. It's going to look crappy quality. Anyways, we'll figure it out. But yeah, let's get back to the review, man, because this was an excellent issue. We still get that wacky sort of artwork that we know and love from Javier Rodriguez, and that kind of um, setup from Dennis Camp as we see this John Jones character kind of wondering what to do next. And there's this presence of the White Martian still out there, but more than that, this John Jones character is trying to understand what this Martian is. So we get sort of an origin story as we see this comet flying through the sky. It's bouncing off stuff, splits off, and we see the white Martian zooming out as well as the green Martian zooming out. So kind of the origin of these alien sort of presences in this absolute universe. And yeah, just another great issue of this series, and we get another great because we know that the white Martian has kind of possessed his kid, which we haven't seen the fallout of that. It's going to be kind of the overarching kind of villain of the arc, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, we get another. See if I can even show it to you guys. No, no, not really. Can you do it on my face, dude? Does this make any sense, dude? Hold on. Another great, he did this in the first issue, and I quite enjoy every time he pulls this off. Can you guys see it now? Okay, well, if you can't, it's essentially just John Jones' character still kind of being with his wife or wishing that he could be with his wife. You see them kind of cuddling, which I really found to be a pretty compelling sort of use of that see-through gimmick that Dennis Camp has been doing from time to time in the series. And yeah, dude. So another great issue with Absolute Martian Manhunter, issue 7. If you guys aren't picking up the series, you really gotta, especially in the Absolute universe. It's up there. It's like my second favorite, dude. It's right after Absolute Wonder Woman. So, yeah, dude. XXU in the chat says smoking gives you aura, though. Listen, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna deny it. I mean, he's got aura for sure, dude. I missed this series so badly, for sure. The months that this series was not coming out, and we had to wait for it. Those were pretty brutal. Like there was a absolute Martian Manhunter size hole left in everybody's pull list for sure. Lamoro in the chat says if Absolute Martian Manhunter officially ends after this arc, do you think he should still show up in the other series, or should it be the end of the character? Man, Lamoro, that's a great question. I hope that this Absolute Martian Manhunter character continues no matter what, but you almost don't want to see it in the hands of an. Not that it's like bad to pass off the character, right? But you almost don't want to see Dennis Camp and Javier Rodriguez let go of this character that they've had so much success with. So, um, man, I hope it keeps going. It would feel so weird if it ends, especially when series like Assorted Christ Events have said that those are ongoings. So like that's gonna keep going. Ultimates is ending, right? So if you got Ultimates ending, the whole Ultimate Universe ending just in general, are we gonna see and with this series ending as well, are we gonna see Dennis Camp go to Marvel? Maybe he'll do some more Marvel stuff, or is he gonna stay kind of on the DC side? We know he has the Vertigo title coming out. A lot of questions, dude. A lot of questions. I don't like thinking about this series ending. That's really sad, dude. Omega Slice in the chat says, "Sup everybody, happy Monday. Hope the holidays treated you well." Thank you, dude. Thank you, and hope the holidays have treated everybody in the chat well. Thank you guys for tuning in on this Monday, talking about some comic books. Always a fun time, dude. So yeah, so that's the review for Absolute Martian Manhunter. Pretty good. Not as good as Absolute Wonder Woman. This one lived up to the hype for sure. So those were my picks of the week. But we got to talk about Absolute Superman as well, because this one was excellent. Did I get the trade paperback slash hardcover for Absolute Martian Manhunter? I have been avoiding the trades and the hardcovers just because I have them in singles. So I'm not like in a rush to recollect them, because I'm not like in a rush to reread them like that. You know what I mean? Like I can reread them digitally using the app if I ever need to, or just pull out the singles. But yes, I haven't gotten the trades or the hardcovers. I probably should just as a collector. I guess I'm waiting for like a deluxe or like an omni or something, but it might be a while. I'll wait for that. But yeah, dude, let's talk Absolute Superman. What a powerful emotional issue as we see the Battle of Smallville. I mean, I'm not going to lie and say that the Battle of Smallville, like it had some really epic moments in this, and I love the way it concluded, although maybe a little bit not underbaked. That's not the right word because the whole Battle of Smallville has been leading up for quite a number of issues. Um, it's just like the way it ended. It was kind of just like, oh, okay, you know what I mean? Like the fighting with the swords, and the battle itself between Ra's al Ghul, this final one. But I still like the overall message of the issue and Superman kind of overcoming this. I don't know what's gonna happen to Ra's al Ghul, but look at this battle, the fighting, dude, of the swords. Like, if you guys are missing out on Absolute Superman, it's got some really really hype ass moments, and I just really like this emo sad boy Superman. It really works for me, and it gets really emo and really sad in this one. As we see after the defeat of Ra's al Ghul, Superman is still kind of trying to figure out his place in the world, but he decides to visit Smallville Senior Living, where we know Martha Kent has been, living. Turns out she died the night previous, dude. But she left this Absolute Superman a gift, the gift of like a new suit that she was putting together, and it's really heartbreaking because she was suffering from dementia. So for her to kind of take this like step and show this love for this character that he thought that maybe like forgot all about him, or didn't mean as much to as much to them as they meant to him. But we obviously see that this note from Martha and Jonathan, if you guys can see that, for our for our angel, our lost son, Clark Kent. So yeah, we'll have to see if this Kal-El takes up that Clark Kent kind of moniker, just that life he never lived, man. So it's just really, really heartbreaking stuff. Yeah, he's really going through it in this series, but I'm really kind of jiving with it. He's still trying to be the Superman we know and love in this world that wants nothing to do with him. So really, really loving it. Absolute Superman, excellent stuff. XXE in the chat says, I got you. I gave 1 through 3 away to my friends, so I had to get the hardcover. That's fair, dude. Yeah, if you've been like loaning out your single issues, for sure, you got to collect them in some way. Like, you got to have them in your collection in some format, right? So that makes sense. Let's talk about the conclusion of Green Arrow. Man, if you guys haven't been tuning into this Green Arrow series from Chris Condon, you have been missing out. But I'm not gonna say I didn't tell you guys. I've been preaching this series praises ever since Chris Condon took it over, making multiple videos about it. It's been in multiple top tens for me and Kai Bucks, and I've been saying nothing but great things every single week that it's out. This is excellent way to cap off the series. It's not action packed by any means. It's really just Green Arrow having this conversation with the detective lady from earlier in the couple issues we've seen her, and she's been trying to help Green Arrow out, and they've been going back and forth. And we find out that this girl, when she was little, she had a previous run in with Green Arrow. So she kind of tells Ollie, like, "Hey, I got to be honest with you. This isn't the first time we met. Like, you inspired me so much as a kid. You're what led me to joining the police force." And it's just like this really like uplifting and kind of hopeful moment, and it's just like the ripple effects that like one good act can do. It's like the purpose of being a superhero, like all distilled down into one issue. And I think this is like potentially one of the single issues of the year. I really kind of fell in love with it. um, so yeah, I definitely recommend collecting this series in any way possible. If you guys, are trying to check out this series in uh, trades, if you guys are, if it's coming out in hardcovers, I don't even know. But the fact that this series has been canceled, so sad, man. It had a lot of room to grow. Chris Condon and Monthos just killing it all the way throughout. We have Derek Seaborn in the chat saying, your channel is a breath of fresh air. So many comic review channels have become so toxic. Yeah, dude. I try to keep the positivity going on this channel. I really don't talk about things unless I love them, which is so easy, right? I mean, that's just like, if you're passionate about the hobby and you're talking about things in a positive way, people respond to it. As long as that's what I found. So yeah, thank you guys for all the support, man. Especially for stopping in on a live, talking about some comic book reviews. Let's talk about some DCKO tie-ins. We have Lex Luthor versus the Demon for Superman issue 33. All the battle itself is kind of like whatever, but it's just like another examination of Lex Luthor, this character from writer Josh Williamson. He's been kind of poking and prodding, kind of peeling back, like, what does Lex Luthor mean to DC, and kind of what is Lex Luthor's like purpose in this whole universe, right? Williamson has been kind of chipping away at that the entire series. So another look at that, this kind of dynamic between this Lex Luthor fighting Etrigan the Demon. They're all switching forms. All the DCKO Fight Night stuff that I've read have been pretty enjoyable. I missed out on some of them. Like I didn't pick up the Wonder Woman Lobo. I read that on DC Universe Infinite. I probably won't pick it up in single issues. I didn't read the Jason Todd Joker one. The Aquaman, the Aquaman one I didn't read, or the Cyborg Swamp Thing I didn't read either. So I'll catch those on the app. But I found the ones that I've had read to be quite enjoyable. So in behind the scenes though, we also get Lois Lane and Superboy Prime. They're on their mission to, they're on their own side mission to stop the DCKO stuff from happening. Booster Gold has been taken over by Darkseid potentially. So Lois Lane and Superboy Prime, along with like a cyborgy type of Superman from the Fortress of Solitude, they're trying to race to the Trapper to help him to stop the Booster Gold from taking over and all that stuff. So, anyways, DCKO has been real fun. Another fun entry into it. If you're a Lex Luthor type of person, like I'm sure you'll enjoy this. Peeling back the layers of Lex Luthor for sure, dude. Um, so yeah, let's catch up with some comments. Thank you guys for any questions you guys got, definitely leave them in the chat, man. That's what the live's for. So we got Lumoro in the chat saying, do you keep up with Detective Comics at all? I read that Green Arrow was joining the series soon. That sounds awesome. Didn't know about that. So Tom Taylor still on the series. I assume he's messing around with Green Arrow in the Detective Comics. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. So yeah, really excited about that if that comes to fruition. I ended up dropping the Detective Comics series. At the time, there was just way too many Batman series coming out, like Batman, Absolute Batman, the main Batman title, Detective Comics, Batman and Robin, Batman Dark Patterns, Batman and Robin Year One, um, and maybe another I forgot. I don't even know. But so I had to like make a cut somewhere. I decided to keep a lot of the mini series that were ending, but I was just enjoying a whole lot. And I decided to drop Detective Comics, but I was liking it. That art from Janine was really, really sick. Um, it just wasn't like, I don't know. It just got the cut. You know what I mean? But I got to get back to it. I got to catch up on DC Universe Infinite for sure. Omega Slice says, "Yo, Cody, after grinding on YouTube all year, what is your favorite social platform to share on and or see other content? IG, Threads, Blue Sky, YouTube, etc." That's an excellent question. I think for me, um, like I've been enjoying watching a lot of the YouTube stuff this year. So, if you guys are like a creator out there and you're like, you know, figuring out like what platform you kind of want to dedicate your time to, YouTube, I found a lot of success. People have been really responding very positively to any kind of stuff I put out there on YouTube. And I'm loving watching everybody kind of making the switch over to YouTube a little bit, like doing new comp day vlogs and stuff like that. I've been loving it. So, but yeah, this year I've been really focusing on trying to grow the Instagram. The TikTok is about as big as it's probably ever going to be. I don't expect the TikTok to grow. It's like 12K right now. It's probably just going to chill there. But it's really been the Instagram and the YouTube grind this year. And we're going to carry that into next year, dude. I got to get those to 10K each. That's the goal. XE in the chat says, what are some ultimate titles you recommend? I've only read some Spider-Man, but wasn't really feeling it. Yeah, dude, honestly, the Ultimate Spider-Man series, like once the dust is settled and people have time to like kind of marinate on the ending of it, I think that maybe it's potentially have not lived up to the hype that like the goal that the Ultimate Universe has like kind of set out to. I don't know if it's ever lived up to that hype. A lot of the series are like the Ultimates I like a lot, but even then it just seems like kind of waiting for the maker to come out. You know what I mean? Versus the Absolute Universe, they're just doing so much more fun things, having a ton more fun over there. So yeah, the Ultimate Universe, pretty interesting. I recommend the Ultimate X-Men stuff though. That's been real fun to go back and catch up with. I dropped that series in singles, but I'm loving going back on the app and catching up with that. But yeah, it's been the Ultimates for me has been like the peak of it. Ultimate Spider-Man was like number 2, but even then it's been dropping down a little bit. I would say a series that's taken like a big step up has been Ultimate Wolverine. That series, like it started out good. Maybe it gets kind of weird in the middle, but then like the last couple issues have been really, really peak. Um, So yeah, and then Ultimate Black Panther. I've been so out of the loop on Ultimate Black Panther. I think I dropped that at like issue like 10 or something like that. So it's been a while on that one. Derek Seaborn in the chat says Dark Patterns is one of the best Batman books out there. 100%. Like that trade, that hardcover deluxe edition, if that ever comes out, that'll be like the one of my most prized possessions. It's gonna be so sick. Lamora says, haha, yeah, I'm new to comics and even I felt pretty Batmaned out. I'm on the last volume of Tinian's Rebirth run right now. It's so peak. I think I have I think I have oh no, it's something I got like pretty cheap. I don't know too much about it, but it's Batman Eternal by James Tynion the Fourth and maybe Tomasi as well. But I think that's different from what you're talking about. I gotta go back. I jumped on the ultimate just like the I jumped on comic books just in general around 2022. So my start was with Bat is like Infinite Frontier. So like Tinian's Batman run was like my first Batman run, but it was like getting up ready for like Fear State and stuff like that. Kind of around that era, a little bit before that. I remember the first Batman single issue I had was Yellow, a yellow James Tynion um, issue. Not like first ever, but that was like my first single issue, like when I was getting into comics for Batman. But yeah, any other comments? Any other questions? Guys, just leave in the comments. But let's continue with the comic book reviews because we have a DCKO tie-in. This is the Terrific 10 Part 3. We know Mr. Terrific has a team of superheroes going to do a mission that no one else can really do. Because the members of this team are time displaced, they're technically a little bit more expendable. If they die, they're not going to have any ripple effects on the future or the past. So Mr. Terrific's like, hey, you guys got to come into hell with me and try to do a deal with the devil or something like that. Something to do with DCKO. It's like a little side mission that Mr. Terrific's going on. So yeah, we go down. At the same time, we know that not Mr., but Red Tornado is you kind of leading the Justice League from above. They're still trying to evacuate everybody due to the fallout of DCKO. So there's a lot of moving parts in this DC universe right now, and a main part of it is this DC Justice League Unlimited series. It's kind of been like the spine like running through the DC universe, like all the events and stuff. They kind of tie into this series, and I've been kind of loving the fact that it has such like a prominent place in DC's sort of catalog. It's like it's the backbone of the DC universe right now, and it's kind of cool seeing all the teams like split up and kind of going on their own missions. It makes the DC universe feel kind of well lived in. Like all the superheroes are out doing their own thing, as opposed to like, oh, I wonder what like Kid Flash is doing. Like Kid Flash appears in this, and he's just in a panel or two, and he's doing a mission for Red Tornado. So that kind of stuff is really cool. Feels very classic. Feels like the show. So yeah, Justice League Unlimited has been really stepping it up. Once they get away from the We Are Yesterday stuff, I wasn't a fan of, but that first arc of this and like the was it the second arc maybe? Everything besides the We Are Yesterday, that kind of like took all the wind out of the sails of the series. But other than that, we've been ripping. It's a lot of fun. So Justice League Unlimited has been really great stuff. Definitely recommend it. If you're like a DC, if you're into like the overall meta narrative DC, you'll have a ton of fun with this one. Excuse me. I got some coffee here. I'm gonna sip. XXE in the chat. Sorry, I had a cough. Coffee went down the wrong pipe. XXE in the chat says, "What comic, Batman comic, would I say has the most Matt Reeves vibe? It's got to be Batman Dark Patterns, dude. I was getting so many Batman, Matt Reeves vibes. Like it feels just so like gritty and like tangible, not really too like otherworldly and like magical. It felt like a sequel, honestly, to the Batman Matt Reeves movie. So if you're looking for that Batman um, Matt Reeves sort of vibe, I can't recommend Dark Patterns enough. That's so sick. Other than that, like besides like Batman Year One, like one of the more direct inspirations for the movie, yeah, I would say like the recent one, Batman Dark Patterns, was just like so Matt Reeves. Like I love that vibe so much. The last thing that we are reviewing today is Skinbreaker issue number 4. Gotta be honest with you, I'm not sure where this series is going. I was liking where Robert Kirkman was taking us. Obviously, you get the great artwork from David Finch. I don't want to. I could spend a whole hour talking about it. Look how detailed it is. So the way that David Finch has been doing the art for the series, okay? You know how like an artist will take one kind of flat board, like it's however big it is, and they do all the art on that, right? David Finch takes one of those boards, flips it on its side, and he tapes three of them together, and he does the full art on that. So that's why it's he's able to go in with so much detail. And yeah, it's just incredible stuff from David Finch. A real like career benchmark achievement. Like this is like some of the best art in comics right now. I would say the story though from Robert Kirkman, I'm just like, oh, what's going on? You know, like we got this chief guy. He's the protagonist of the story. He was younger in issue number 1 and 2. Issue number 3 was a time jump, so now he's like the older chief. And this other young guy is trying to step up to him, challenge him as the chief. If he wins the battle, then he becomes the new chief. So like there's that tension there. Um, this chief is really focused on the this chief is really focused on kind of helping his tribe in other ways that this guy thinks are bad. Like he's kind of stuck in the old ways. He's kind of the faction of the tribe that's stuck in their old ways. They don't like to see all these technological improvements and like, traps instead of going out to hunt literally and like risking your life. Like, why don't we trap the animal and then you get all the benefits of trapping the animal, but you don't risk yourself, right? Or um, advances in like getting water from one place to another, like these aqueduct technology and stuff like that. Like they all see that as a not a great way to live, and it kind of sets them back. So that's like the main struggle in the series so far. But in the middle, at the end of the battle, we see our chief guy like run away and kind of be cowardly. He like runs into the woods. He like strips down naked, and to me, it's kind of like showing great shame, I guess. And he's maybe like relinquishing the title of chief. Um, and yeah, so I don't know. Can everybody just wait? Um, I got like a million people trying to message me right now. Okay. Jesus Christ Almighty. All right, all right. So that was my review of Skinbreaker. Just a weird way to end the issue, and yeah, not like the biggest fan of the way it ended, and kind of just like kind of waiting for it to like I don't know where it's going. So I'm kind of confused by that. But yeah, so Skinbreaker issue number 4. Weird way to end this issue, and I don't know what to think about the rest of the series. So yeah, interesting stuff there. But that's what we got, dude. So Skinbreaker, we got some DCKO tie-ins, the end of an era for Green Arrow, excellent stuff there, and then 3 excellent Absolute Universe titles. But that pick of the week, it's got to go to the Absolute Team Up. Honestly, this might be a hot take. Absolute Superman might be the number 2 of the week, followed very closely by Absolute Martian Manhunter. Excellent issue, of course, but this one just like really hit for me, dude. I was crying by the end of it when Superman was pulling his new suit out of the box from his mom that he never had, really. And that was just really emotional for me, man. So I loved it. Excellent stuff, dude. So that's what we got for the comic book reviews of the week. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed. Of course, we already did our pull list of the week. We just did the reviews. Now we got to talk about. I know I said I was gonna do some image solicitations. I might not though. Let me see. Let me see where my wife is. My wife is driving home, so I'm not gonna do that. Instead, we're gonna just unbox the Wonder Woman from McFarlane. Um, actually, no, we're gonna try it. I have these like dinky scissors over here. So we're gonna try it, and I'll mute for a second. We're gonna cut into this, and then we'll try to get her out. I'm not gonna get the comic out though, okay? Because that's like kind of tougher. So we'll just focus on getting the Wonder Woman action figure out. But yeah, let me know how you guys are doing in the chat. You guys are having a good day. Of course, if you guys don't care about action figures at all, I get it. Let's see. Concurrent. Yeah, yeah. So we're chugging along here. What type of music do I think Absolute Superman listens to? like Nirvana, something sad, brother. Like Radiohead. That guy listens to Radiohead like nothing, dude. All right, so XXE in the chat says, "Oh yeah, for sure on that Radiohead." Yeah, that's probably what it is, right? All right, Jesus, I hate getting the page punchers out, dude. So we got the collector card, of course. I guess we can get that out if it pops out easily. Cause like McFarlane, like you have to bend your comic to like get anything out. McFarlane, uh, did I bend the comic too hard, dude? I hate it, man. I hate it. McFarlane, I hate the way you do everything, man. I hate it so much. But yes, we got the collector card, the page puncher. Here, you guys pause if you want to read up on Diana Prince, Wonder Woman. You guys pause right there. And yeah, great art on the back, of course. Her classic sort of suit. The red, the gold, the blue with the stars, the tiara on the head, tiara, of course, on the head. And then you get the Page Puncher comic. So, was this? Is this her first appearance? There's no way, right? Probably not first appearance. There's no way. Looks like an annual or summer annual or something like that. Wonder Woman #1. Could be. Maybe she was in Sensational first, and then this is her first solo title. I don't know. I'm not like a key guy. I'm not too up to date on the keys. All right, looks like we have a couple of. Oh, geez. So that's the figure, guys. We'll get her out very shortly. We'll get out here in a second. Of course, it comes with the accessories. You're seeing it. Not a whole ton, but we do get some hand swaps. All right, McFarlane, include some hand swaps. I see you. And let's get that overhead camera going. Let's see. We'll get a hold of the skirt. We'll see what's going on with that. If it has any cloth, doesn't look like it. It looks very rubber to me. Of course, this is before she had her, classic sort of interpretation of the bracelets, that block all the bullets. This was kind of before when they were like more of a black sort of color. I know that DC has put out a DC Finest, I believe, that includes some of this material. So that might be something to look into if you're into this classic look for Wonder Woman and want to get into more of her first appearance or whatever. Let's get rid of these little plastic doodads that are all over my office, of course. Let's get the hand swaps out. Looks like we have two different hand swaps. Let's see. Of course, you don't get a lasso of truth. This must be before the character was kind of known for having a lasso of truth. I don't know. XXE in the chat says that's cool. It comes with the comic. Yeah, I like the page punchers. I like the idea of them coming with the comic. It's pretty cool. I just think that like, man, your comic gets all banged up and like, I don't know. It's cool to have though for sure. I have like two page punchers I haven't got all the way out of their packaging because I'm just like so annoyed. So annoyed at doing this. Like I hate getting that even the hands out. So it's like, dude, having the comics in there like really, really annoying. Like McFarlane, you like airtight seal your hand swaps, bro. Like Jesus Christ. Okay, let me get this other one out. Okay. Getting the hand swap out. And there we have it. That's pretty much the whole entire shebang. We have the Page Puncher comic, of course. You get your little collector card. You get a dinky stand that I've already lost. Actually, it's attached to the back of this. And then the hand swaps. Let's go over the hand swaps real quick. The hand swap's a little bit more of an open, outstretched hands, kind of like you're flying, something like that, right? My name is pronounced Zai, by the way. That makes a lot of sense. Sorry, I keep saying Xe. Zai makes sense. And then the other hands you get kind of like a gripping hand. Actually, kind of looks like she'd be holding a gun. If I'm being honest with you, but we know one of them doesn't roll like that, so probably not a gun. And then the other one is a closed ball fist. And yeah, that's it for the accessories. Pretty light on the accessories, Todd. But I love this figure. Straight out the box. Straight out the box. I mean, this is just one of the best DC McFarlanes of all time. I'm loving the classic look. The eagle on her chest. I love the dark blue on the skirt, the way it contrasts with the white on the white stars. Of course, I've seen probably seen these like legs before. It's probably like part reuse, but I've never been one to care about part reuse. I do not care one bit. If it looks good, it looks good. And of course, this portrait, I mean, that's like a pretty accurate to the comics. Looks like it pulled right out of it. She doesn't have any sort of lazy eye issues. We get a little bit of blush sort of look on the cheeks. Let me get the overhead camera. And yeah, dude, that looks like a great look for Wonder Woman for sure. So let's get into the articulation, and then we'll get into the final figure review. 360 on the head. It goes not that far up because she's got this big old head of curly hair on the back. It goes pretty far down though, more than you probably need. So that's cool. What's my favorite fig in my collection? Probably, probably, honestly, probably a hot take, but the Maximum series Marvel Legends Spider-Man is so sick. I have the Mafex as well, and that's also cool. It's back there, but I have this on my desk specifically because I mess with it like all day. Like I just go like this and pose it in different, like, I don't know. And it feels like because it's a little cheaper than the Mafex, you're able to do that easier without worrying about like breaking it potentially or anything like that. So yeah, dude, I would say this one's really sick. Also really like um the Tim Drake Robin is really cool. Um I have another Wonder Woman that's also really cool. The Mafex Daredevil is really cool. I unboxed a Doctor Doom recently. That's really cool. Yeah, dude, I have a lot of cool figures. I don't get a figure unless it's cool. You know what I'm saying? So, um, holy, that's sick, says Zai. Yeah, dude, it's pretty sick, man. But let's get back to the figure of today, which is of course this Wonder Woman. So the head's got that full 360. I would say just in general, the head has great articulation. Yeah, you can hit some pretty nice poses the side to side as well. Um, the hair isn't as bad as you'd think for being a big old head of curly hair like that. Let's get into the arms. Can you do a T pose? Yep, T pose and a little more. Oh, a lot more than just your traditional T pose. You get that 360 shoulder joint, that 360 bicep joint. I was a little word there. Yeah, you get 360 bicep joint. You get the 360 elbow crunch, double crunchy elbows, and you get that 360 wrist with that, classic kind of pivoty sort of thing that McFarlane likes to do. Let's talk about yeah, dude, the torso. Torso is moving. You get the 360, of course. You get that nice bend forward. Not really so much on the forward. Not much at all. That kind of stinks. But you get a lot on the back. So your Wonder Woman, no problem hitting that flight pose. That's pretty cool. Pretty nice articulation there. Let's talk about the skirt. Kind of makes it hard to do a split more than this, but you do get that classic McFarlane kind of joint down there. The kick up the skirt again is making it a little tough, but you do get that 360 the 360 on the ankle, and you get that double jointed crunchy knees with the toe articulation. No toe articulation. I'm shocked right now. I'm shook. There are no toe articulation on this figure. That might be the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. McFarlane always has toe articulation, even if the figure has boots. So I'm just at a loss right now. This is crazy. Unprecedented, dude. Unprecedented for sure. But listen, overall for the figure, I think it's super sick. The look of it is excellent. The articulation, maybe you'd want a little bit more on the torso, side to side in the front, but the arms have great articulation. The legs, the skirt is a little bit kind of cumbersome and makes it hard to move the legs around. But I think that you should still get a decent range based on what we have here. The lack of toe articulation is crazy, guys. Like crazy. I have a ton of McFarlanes you guys see on the shelf. No toe articulation is crazy from McFarlane. But yeah, man, really glad I have this figure in the collection. It was a little bit harder to get. I know it was sold out for a lot of places. I was able to snag one, I believe, on Big Bad Toy Store. They always got the hookups. No toe tickle in the chat. Yeah, dude, no toe tickle, man. And of course, it's a page puncher, so you get all the other goodies. But the accessories pretty lacking just in general. I wish it wasn't a page puncher. Like I don't really care about the comic. I'd rather more accessories, to be honest with you. But yeah, no really accessories to speak of besides the little hand swaps there and the art card and a dinky little McFarlane stand. But that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed this new comic book weekly. Like bringing this to you guys every single Monday around 4 p.m. That was the action figure unboxing. Of course, we also did some comic book reviews for everything last week, New Comic Book Day. And we talked about this week's new comic book pulls for New Comic Book Day, December 31st. New Comic Book Weekly, man. Hope you guys enjoyed. And thanks for everybody stopping in. If you watched it on the live, I really do appreciate it. Marcus Longioni says Sam Raimi Spider-Man is still the best Spider-Man. I'll let that just out in the universe. I won't follow up on it. Maybe not. I think it is though. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, thank you guys. New Comic Book Weekly. I'll catch you guys next week. Maybe next week we can talk about some Image comic solicitations. Actually, be the first one in January. Maybe I'll do something like pull list related, just the pull list going into the new year, something like that. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But thank you guys for watching and read more.